Today, we're going to look at the history of the metrical setting of the 23rd Psalm found in nearly all English language hymnals. This hymn was first used in the 1650 Psalter. It was written by Francis Roos, who had written a complete metrical setting of all 150 psalms. He submitted it to the committee charged with publishing the new 1650 Scottish Psalter, which was replacing the original 1564 Psalter, which itself was based upon the very first Genevan Psalter commissioned by John Calvin. In the end, the committee used Rous's settings for about 10% of their Psalter. This hymn is written in what is called common meter. This refers to the number of syllables in each stanza. In this case, 8 syllables in the first phrase, 6 syllables in the second, 8 in the third, and 6 in the fourth, or 8-6-8-6. In many more traditional and older hymnals, you will often see numbers like these, or a series of letters like CM for common meter, LM for long meter, SM for short meter, and my favorite, PM for peculiar meter. Knowing the meter of a poem can tell you which tune it might fit, or what meter you will have to use in your new hymn to fit a particular poem. If you look at very old hymnals, you will find in most nothing but the texts of the hymns, the music only being printed in the organist copy. Eventually, you would get a tune followed by several texts which could be sung to it. As the years have gone by, various traditions came to view peculiar texts and tunes to be, you could say, married. I often get the reaction for my recordings, well, that's the wrong music for that hymn. And all I've done is play one of the many tunes which have at one time or other been used by someone for that text. This text was written sometime before 1650, yet its most famous tune wasn't composed until about 1871, over 200 years later. The tune Cryman is the most popular tune used. It is named after the Cryman Church in the Aberdeenshire town of Cryman. It was composed by Jessie Irvine, who was the daughter of the pastor. David Grant later reharmonized it for her. Grant served on a committee which was charged with the assembly of a new hymnal of hymns and metrical psalms. Miss Irvine's setting was included with Grant's harmonization, and the rest as they say. Just because Cryman appears in the most hymnals doesn't mean it is the only good setting. Here are 7 tunes that I have already recorded and found set for the 23rd Psalm. The first is Evan. The next is Cryman. Belmont. Brother James Eyre. Martyrdom. Beatitudo. And Wiltshire. As you can see, many are very familiar to you, and probably the one you most associate with this text. I hope this short history of the English metrical setting of the 23rd Psalm has given you a better understanding of the history of hymn singing. There is a link in the description to a much larger article I have written which goes into much more detail about this very famous hymn. And if you'd like to learn more about my work on Christian hymnody, follow the link to my website. And if you'd like to contribute to this work, there are links to Patreon and GoFundMe in the description.